Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Dangerously Beautiful Women in Rio de Janeiro. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's show on all your social media to help get the word out. Now, let's get started. Have you ever thought about going to Rio de Janeiro? Have you watched the videos and thought that it might be a great vacation choice for your next destination? Have you ever thought that going to Rio might be a great way to meet beautiful women? We did the research and talked to a lot of people who have gone there, and guess what? We're going to tell you what really goes on in Rio. We'll tell you if it's safe. We'll tell you if the food is any good. We'll tell you what the women are really like. And in addition to that, we'll tell you some other things you'll find very interesting. Let's begin with the flight. It's about a 9.5-hour flight from New York to Rio. The average cost of a round trip ticket is about $600 depending on the time of year and any special offers that may be available. The first thing you want to do is you want to carefully research and decide ahead of time what hotels you want to stay in and in what part of the city. Always have a backup hotel chosen just in case there is a problem. And in Rio, that's always a possibility. The reason you want to do that ahead of time is because choosing the wrong hotel in the wrong neighborhood could be a real safety concern. No matter what hotel you stay at, you want to make sure that it has a good room safe. Put your valuables in there, use your phone to take photos of your passport just in case it's stolen, and you need to go to the embassy to get a replacement. The next thing you want to do is to research the areas you're thinking of going to before you actually commit so that you can determine how safe the area you're going to be staying in really is. Next, ask the hotel concierge when you arrive for some advice on where to eat, where to go sightseeing, what parts of the city and beach you should visit, all that stuff. If you're a nightclub person, then you want to make sure you figure out which clubs are safe and which clubs are just great ways for people to try and drug you and rob you. One thing you'll notice about Rio is how incredibly distracting the women are. In fact, I would take it a step further. I would say that the women in Rio are dangerously beautiful. Plastic surgery is very common, and so are enhanced bodies. Everywhere you go, you'll see beautiful women with beautifully enhanced bodies. Unlike in some other countries, the women in Rio are very socially friendly and outgoing, and they love foreigners. Some of them love foreigners for the right reasons, and some of them love foreigners for the wrong reasons. You have to be very careful distinguishing between those two groups. Never take anyone you don't know back to your hotel room because things may not end up the way you hoped they would. Make sure to tell the hotel doorman to keep an eye on you whenever you're coming back, to make sure that he never lets you back into your hotel room when you're accompanied by a stranger, because that may be a situation where they've drugged you and now they're carrying you back to your hotel room so they can also clean out your hotel. Now, if it comes to that, then you can always stay in another hotel room. Do not go back to your hotel room with somebody else. A better way to meet people is to meet them online ahead of time. There are many Brazilian dating sites that you can use to meet women before you actually go there. Begin this process 3 or 4 months before you go there. Then, when you arrive, you can set up several dates with several women each day and get to know them in various highly public restaurants and coffee houses and other public places. That's the key, public places. If you're looking for someone you can take seriously, then you may want to spend 2 or 3 months talking to them, 4 months, 5 months. Get to know people. You're not going to meet a great person the first time you try. You may not meet a great woman the 10th time you try. Keep the research going, keep the conversations going. You'll learn more about the culture and the people, the more people you talk to. So, also, when you arrive, try to get to know people once you're in town, and that can be challenging. It can take a lot of time. That's why you want to do your preliminary work before you go to Rio. If you're a serious person with serious intentions, then get to know the person online with video chats ahead of time. But if you're just looking for fun, then that's a different matter entirely. Then it's just about being safe and very, very cautious. So what about those famous beaches? There are two famous beaches in Rio. One is called the Copacabana, and the other one is called Ipanema. No trip to Rio is complete without visiting these beaches. They're magnificent. Here's the incredible part of beach life in Rio. Most people in Rio live to have fun. They may live in a very small apartment, but it doesn't matter because most of their social lives are spent outdoors or on the beaches or in the nightclubs or restaurants or cafes. People don't really stay in the house all day long or all weekend long. When you go there, the first thing you'll notice is that most people don't have a lot of money, but yet somehow they have more fun than the people in America with a lot of money. In America, everybody's always staring at their phones. In Rio, everybody's always staring at the beautiful people walking by. It's just a much healthier lifestyle, psychologically, physically, spiritually. Another thing you'll notice is how much healthier and unprocessed the food is in Brazil. Lots of meat, which is almost always better than the carbs that they always want to feed you in America with every meal. If you don't know how to speak Portuguese, then you may want to learn some simple phrases and words, or you may want to use Google Translate on your phone or some other translation app. Learning how to speak or learning how to use a translating app will make all the difference socially. The next thing you want to do is you want to go to the Christ the Redeemer statue in Brazil. It costs about $5, but that's not the issue. The issue is if you don't get there before 8 a.m., then you may be stuck waiting in a 6-hour line to go see the statue. Once you're there, then you'll quickly realize how amazing it is. It's the most stunning religious statue in the world, in my opinion. Make sure to take lots of photos. The next thing you want to do is to make sure you don't spend all your time focusing on just one person to date. There's a good chance it may not work out. You guys may not like each other. Anything could go wrong. So make arrangements to get to know and to meet a lot of people when you're there. Meet with them in public, get to know them. Don't allocate all of your time to one individual that you may lose interest in 2 days later. This way, if something goes wrong, you have more people that you can talk to and socialize with. If possible, go to Rio with a friend. That's important for several reasons. First, it's much safer that way. Secondly, it's much more fun to share an experience of the trip with a friend. One thing you'll need to keep an eye out for are all the child pickpocketing gangs. They're everywhere. You'll be out walking around, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a dozen 7 and 8-year-olds will swarm you and start pawing at you and begging for money. You may think it's charming and you may want to give them some money, but what you don't realize is you're being professionally pickpocketed by some of the best pickpocketers in Rio. Be very wary of who is around you at all times. Another thing you want to be aware of is something called beauty blindness. This is where single tourists will go to Rio and get blinded by the stunningly beautiful women, and occasionally they'll get talked into doing things they never would have done back home. We call this dangerous beauty. The problem with that is that there are a lot of stunning women in Rio who like to take advantage of their beauty and use it to squeeze money out of the tourists or just rob them with their friends. So have fun down there, but be extremely cautious. Thank you for watching. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's show on all your social media to help spread the word. We shall talk to you soon. Bye-bye.